In this video, I'm going to introduce you to Google Groups or reintroduce you to Google Groups if that's the case. So Google Groups is one of those that kind of fell off the map once Facebook got more popular as a marketing system and Facebook pages, Facebook groups, those types of things. So Google Groups is still a viable way to at least get your message out there, create a community of like-minded people, and to go out there and use it as a way to connect with your target market. So there's several different types of groups, and I'll cover those in this particular video. In the next video, we'll talk more about ways you can make money from Google Groups and integrate it into your overall marketing campaign, because this is a really powerful system that you could start using. So first thing is, there's different types of groups that you can do here. So the first one is, we'll just go here to create a group, and I'll show you how to get started. So you need to have a Google account, need to be logged in so you can start creating your group. And the very first thing is your group name. So you need to decide what your mission is, what type of group you want to have, what kind of things you want to be targeting. So I'm going to create a group related around the weight loss niche market. So let's say weight loss tips and ideas. And you can just go with, if you want to have that as like a group forum post, it would be that would be the URL that you give, and that would be the link that you share out. So you could use like a link shortener or something like that, a tool like Simple Click Tracker, for example, to kind of shorten down that link and share it with people. So we've got our group description here. This will talk about it. So this is a spot to share your favorite weight loss tips and ideas. Okay, so we'll go with that. Your primary language would be selected here, pretty self-explanatory. Now this is where I'll give you some insight here. So you've got different types of groups here, and this is where you can select a group type. So you've got an email list. So this would be an email. So every time somebody subscribe to this list, every time they send an email to weight loss tips and ideas at Google Groups, people would automatically start being notified every time there's been a new email sent to this list. So they would get an automatic email notification from Google Groups. And so that is one strategy. So you could get, 100 people, 1,000 people, a whole group of people that actually subscribe to get these tips and ideas from you. And then every time you mail to them, it actually would send out an automatic email reminder from Google. So this is one strategy that you could go with. Most of them, you've got a web forum, so this would be a forum. So like your typical web forum where people can chat and communicate back and forth. So that's one idea. Anytime you're having a community where people can engage with other people, where you get user-generated content like a forum, that's a good thing. So the other type is you've got a Q&A forum. So that's very basic. That's a question and answer type group, question and answer forum. That could be a really good, unique way, aside from going with Facebook groups and pages, to have like a kind of a unique approach to Q&A sessions for your customers and high-end coaching students as well. So that's another strategy. A collaborative inbox. So this would be where other people, they kind of collaborate together. The main ones you're going to focus on is going to be a web forum and Q&A forum, and then on occasion the email list one, just so you know. So participants of groups. So you could choose, owners of the group, manager of the group, all members of the group. That'd be participants. View topics. So who can view the topics, who can reply to them. Typically you want to have that set to all members. As far as who can join the group, that's going to depend on you. So is it a private group? Is it a VIP student only group? So that means they're going to have a link that maybe you put on your download page. Maybe it's a link, or maybe it's information on the email address they need to send an email to get approved. Those types of things. So you could set it to, anyone can ask to join the group, only invited users, or it's a public group as well. So you could make it a public group so everybody could join. And so that's what we're going to do with this group, because we want to use it as a way to engage with our audience and start, building up more of a following. So that's all we've had to do. You just have to fill out that info. Who can post on that group? You could make it a public group so anybody can post. Who can view topics? We'll make that public. And participants will be all members of the group. And let's go ahead and choose create. So now we've got our group here. It's going to say type in the characters here. So we've got 101. That's what Google wants us to do. And it's verifying that we are a human being. It says congratulations, your Google group has been created. Invite people to join your group. Customize your group settings, add a topic, and start posting. So I'm going to just say okay to that. and it's going to take me into this section here, which will detail how to actually set up and create my group. So I'll go ahead and do that in the next video. I'll go into how to integrate the settings, how to set up your group appropriately so that it's ready to go, and then in the final video we'll cover how to get traffic from a Google Groups, which is a really powerful source of traffic that you could be missing out on.